Welcome everyone. This is Jean from the Inky Owl Studio. I'm so happy you could stop by. This is the second to a series of craft alongs that I'm doing as I put together my next project, which is a design team project for 49 dragonflies. And it is what I like to call a story journal, and it's a story kind of based around a young woman who's immigrating from Germany to the United States back around the 1800s to early 1900s. And I am today going to talk about cabinet cards, making some really fun cabinet cards. I've been having a good time with that. I want to just show you quickly some of the papers that I have chosen to put in here. These are wallpaper prints from the Graphics Fairy, though it looks more like fabric, doesn't it? It's really pretty. And so I'll just show you really quickly some of these that I've got. And this is that child's story book that I had showed the last time. I have a map of Germany in here, some music pages, so different prints that I kind of felt were vintage looking. Here's some of the stencils, and there's some more. The song I've got is Pilgrims of Hope. I thought that was pretty appropriate title song there. So that was some of them there. Here's a few more papers I have in here, and this is from 49 Dragonflies shop. And here, this is the Blue Danube. Of course, that would be very appropriate in a German themed journal. And so we have just these different prints, I think, that are quite pretty. And yeah, I'll just show you one more. So I got 3 signatures going here. I think each signature I am going to put in about 10 pages, maybe something of that nature. So it will be a pretty good sized quilt by the time we get done with it. So I just wanted to kind of flip through that really fast to show you where I am on collecting the papers. So I have decided finally on a name for our young immigrant, and this is a picture of her, and I'm going to call her Marta. And I made this little cabinet card, and I chose that really stunning black one in the printout with all the back sides of the cabinet cards. So this is a photo, cabinet card photo from Barbara's shop. Very pretty. I really like that. And so I made this as a cabinet card, and I also made a cabinet card for her grandmother. And it's a journaling card, so you can journal on the back. So there's this embossed part on the front, and because a lot of the cabinet cards or photos from that era had like an embossed frame that went over the picture itself. And so I wanted to show you how I made this. I used, now I have no idea this is even available anymore, but this is from Tim Holtz, and I'm trying to see alterations. I don't know if there's a specific name for it, but there's the number down there. Book cover set. I'm sorry, it's called book cover set 657845. So these are specifically textured so that the middle part's plain. So you've got like either a square or a round, and you just cut out either way for the photo, and then you've got the embossing all the way around it. But not everybody has this. I realize that. And I'm just lucky to have one. I don't know when I picked it up even. So I came up with another idea that you could use, and that is to use just any textured embossing plate. And this just has like a kind of a random design on it. You might have one with damask, you could have one with paisleys on it, or just some kind of a design that's raised. Doesn't matter what, doesn't have to have the middle that's opened. And I just put that through here. I just put it through on a piece of, it's like a medium to lightweight cardstock. And then I just took a die cut and I cut out the middle. And if you don't have a die cut, you could easily just cut with a craft knife a square. You know, that would work just as well. So I did that, and then to highlight the embossing around here, I used a couple of distress inks and just sort of went in there, you know, like that, and just kind of, so I got two different, this is a vintage photo, and I think it, you know, you might even want to go into a color like a deep burgundy, some kind of a, not a bright, but a muted color of some sort. You could probably even do that. But I basically went in there and kind of went there. So it kind of starts bringing out a little bit of that texture. And I'm pressing fairly hard. That's probably because my ink pad is dry. So you may want to try that out. If you've got a juicy ink pad, you may want to start with just a light pressure on it. And here's the walnut, which is quite dark in real life. So you can see that it is a little bit juicier than the vintage photo, but I'm not going to cover every bit of it. I am just going to cover kind of random places here and there, like that. Just kind of do a little bit around. So yeah, I think that's quite enough. Enough for me anyways. And after I've done that, I'm going to choose my picture. Now this is also from that cabinet card digital from 49 Dragonflies, but it's more black and white instead of sepia tone. And it kind of made me think, well, you could use even a more modern picture and print it out in black and white, and you know, use that as well. It doesn't have to be an old picture like that. It could be something you just want to do for fun, you know, for your family. I mean, you could use an embossing that's even more updated, like you might want to use some flowers or polka dots or whatever to emboss with, and then just put in one of your own photographs in there. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a vintage photo. You could just have fun with it. And so we'll just put that over there like so. There, that's very cute. Cute little picture of, I assume they're sisters maybe. And then after that, I took a piece of cardstock. It's got kind of dirty, but it doesn't matter. Got some ink on there. But a piece of cardstock to back it with. Because I think when you put in the embossing pad over cardstock, it does kind of weaken it somewhat. And plus you want to hide everything that's in the back of here. So I think you do need another piece of cardstock to kind of give it some support. Very cute. Oh, and I just forgot. I should have inked on the inside of that rim. Well, that's what you need to do, because over here that's what I did. I inked inside, but well, sorry about that. I'm sure you'll remember now better. And I just go ahead and cut. So I am having fun collecting all my items for this story quilt. I'm sorry, journal. I don't know why I keep calling it a quilt. I guess I have something on my mind about quilting lately. There we go. And I got quite a few things, and I'm going to have to start putting together a story. So the way that I usually, and I'm going to round the corners, I just think it looks more vintage when you do that. What I like to do is I like to collect all my items and then create the story. It's a lot easier to do that than to create a story and try to find items to go with it. It's a little bit more challenging, and I don't have the time that it would take to do all that. So that's what I'm doing right now, is kind of going through. I'm going the Library of Congress, places, free sites where you can, different museums or whatever that allow you to download for free some of these vintage things. So there you go. Isn't that cute? And that is in black and white. So therefore, you don't need the special Tim Holtz die cut. You can use any die cut that has that overall pattern to it, and it does give it a vintage look to it. So I thought that was really a neat little thing. And so I have another idea for using the back of the cabinet cards for a journaling type of thing. So let me show you that one. Now for this one, I've got the photo and the backing of a cabinet card, and I made sure that they were cut down so they matched. They're both the same size, and sometimes you have to adjust one to the other to have them match well. So I've got those two put together, and I am going to glue. Let's see, which way should I go here? I guess this will be fine. I am going to glue them onto the cardstock. Now the photo part, which is what I want to be on the front of this project, I'm putting it on the right hand side. I'm going to put this on the right hand side of the other one, so that this one then will be here on this side. And I am leaving just a hair, like oh man, just about that much, which is really a tiny amount, but just enough to say there is an amount, if that makes any sense. Just a small amount between the two, because that is where I'm going to put the fold at. Because I'm going to make a little fold out journal card piece of ephemera. So we'll just put it right here, really close. Okay. Just going to put them two like that. So you just have to remember that the front of your project is going to be on the right hand side and the back is going to be on the left. And we'll just simply come over here and cut this out like so. Now there's, other things you can do with this project. You certainly can do more decorating on the front of it if you would like. And then I am going to, I should really score this. I think scoring is really the better way to go. Let me get my score. Another idea that I came up with using these cabinet cards was to make like a little folder out of them. And I just simply, I wanted a little tiny border around the photo in the back over here. So I just measured out a piece of cardstock, and I left about little bit more than 1/8 of an inch, maybe not quite 1/4 of an inch in between the two. And of course you're going to put your front of your folder on the right side and the back of it on the left side, so you can fold it up. So I just measured it out and I'm going to fold it over. Quick, quick, quick. So this little idea can it could be used in a lot of ways. It can you can make a little booklet out of this. I might do that with one of them, is make a little booklet. You can make pockets on the inside. You can decorate it maybe with a tab to make it look like a file folder. So it's just a simple idea, but it's one that, you know, it can be versatile and do different things with. And we'll just glue this on here. Yeah. So these are going to be Marta's parents, their wedding picture. So what Marta is doing, essentially, she is collecting things to put into her her travel bag, things that she wants to keep as reminders of what she's leaving behind. And of course she's going to want a photo of her family members in there. Yep, so it's a real simple little idea to use these cards in this way. I have another idea on my mind. I'll show you what that one is. But yeah, you just have this little folder, and you can journal on the inside. You can put pockets. You can put pages in here for like a little booklet. And a third idea that I have not had time to do, but I think is a really cool one, is that a lot of times these photos were put on postcards. So the thought would be you could mail, you know, this photo of yourself. And so yeah, I just printed out a postcard. I think I got this from the Graphics Fairy. No, not this one, but Graphics Fairy freebies do have postcards. And you can print one of those out. The trick is to find a photo that will fit, you know, decently onto the back. But you could glue a postcard on the back, and that could also be for journaling, and yet it kind of gives it an authentic look of how they used to have their old photos back then. So anyways, that's sort of some of the ideas I came up with. This is going to be Marta's little sister, and I made a little folder for her. And so anyways, just thought I would show you what I'm doing, and I hope that you subscribe so you can see what I do and add next to this journal. And we will talk to you later. You have a great rest of the day.